Christina Tobin. I'm the president and founder of the Free and Equal Elections Foundation. Yay! And you know, David, let's just do a huge applause for David for standing up against this. I am very sympathetic towards this race. As David mentioned, I was the 2010 Secretary of State candidate here in California, who I think I was 27 years of age. And I felt that my role as being a voter rights advocate would be to inspire the youth, the people to run for office. So what better way to set that precedent than to do it at such a young age? In 2010, I didn't really campaign though for my race. I actually helped unite leaders to try and stop what is one of the biggest, as most, if not everyone in this room knows, electoral threats ever, called Top 2, the Top 2 primary, Prop 14. And that was a devastating loss, 2010. I mean, it was, I worked with my mentor, Richard Binger, of Ballot Access News. He's been fighting on behalf of election reform for 35 years. He's testified over 300 cases, and he's my mentor. I speak with him pretty much every day. I did him the way to drive here coming to this event. And while we were unable to defeat Top 2, what it is only the top 2 vote getters in the primary advance to the general election. It could be only 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, but they amended it to make sure that third parties would cease to exist in California within 2 election cycles, which was just unconstitutional and so wrong. And the money behind it's the elite, the people at the top, Rothschild and so on. So I took the experience from that and went to Arizona last year. I think it was like September, October, because they wanted to pass Top 2, Prop 121, same thing, Top 2 exactly, in Arizona. And the biggest weapons proponents had behind that was lying to the voters, saying that it opens the elections, that it's anything but. Not one political scientist agreed with that. In fact, it sterilizes political cleansing. Hence, look what's happened in California. Washington State passing Top 2 in 08. But the good news is we were up against millions, I think tens of millions of dollars that were backing Top 2 in Arizona, and went out there and somehow pulled off Free and Equal. Some of you have the pamphlets. We hosted a panel discussion at the Goldwater Institute, which is a pretty prominent right-leaning group. But we brought the executive director of the Democratic Party to be on that panel, head of the Republican Party, Democrat, Libertarian, myself for a national perspective, and the facilitator was the League of Women Voters, the president, Barbara Hine, I believe, of Arizona. So we took that, we got so much coverage. I traveled across the state for a week, going county by county, meeting with dozens, maybe even more, media outlets, radio, TV, and telling them the truth. And we squashed it, defeated by a 2-to-1 measure. That was a good win. I mean, there was other factors, the press does, but when the chair, the president of League of Women Voters said it was really you getting the truth out there. I learned in California, you've got to get out there 6 weeks in advance because they like to do those mail-in voting campaigns that mislead the voters and drive them to vote for things that aren't true, proponents behind the elite. So I wanted to, before I get to the heart of the reason why I'm here tonight is for David, as all of us are. Free and Equal, you may have heard last year there was a presidential debate. It was really cool, and the mainstream media tagged it as a third-party debate. It truly was an open debate, moderated by Larry King and myself. And I'll tell you, the best part of that, we had 4 candidates on stage. We had well, Jill Stein's one of my favorite people ever, the Green Party candidate. She's the sweetest thing. She participated. Rocky Anderson of the Justice Party, Virgil Wood, finally got that pronunciation down, and with the Constitution Party, and of course Gary Johnson too with the Libertarian Party. And the best moment of that debate was not only talking about the NDAA, SOPA, the Patriot Act, the drones, all these things that just these candidates can agree on across the spectrum. But it was at the end of the debate. We had thousands of really students out in the audience that gave about a 3-minute standing applause. And I got off stage in the moment where somebody came up and said, "You're top 10, on Twitter." I mean, I was like, what? We're top 10 on Twitter. We were covered by RT America worldwide, Al Jazeera worldwide, C-SPAN too. I mean, 2004, this Independent, you guys might know Ralph Nader. I guess he's green. Independent, yeah. Yeah, Ralph Nader gave me a call. He's like, Christina, I hear you're the only one that has, you know, any kind of expertise of getting candidates on the ballot that'll work for all term candidates. Will you help me get on the ballot? And you know, I was really, really young then. I was like, hey, Dad, you could have still consider me your daughter if I worked for Ralph Nader. My dad's a pretty hardcore libertarian, and I've always been an independent. And so I did it. I worked for Ralph Nader in 2004. It resulted in me suing Mike Madigan for using full-time taxpayers' dollars to successfully keep independent Ralph Nader off the ballot. I took that knowledge in 2006 and got Rich Whitney, led the efforts for the defending the signatures, the Green Party, gubernatorial candidate in 2006, Rich Whitney. And then in 2008, Ralph Nader National Ballot Access Program, over 500,000 signatures and successfully getting on the ballot. Somehow I started as a road trip a little coordinator, and a month later I was national, managing all ballot drives throughout the U.S. And falling short's not an option. You know, that history, you know, you always make it work. You cannot fall short when the world is at stake, and lives are at stake, and the future is at stake. And so, with that knowledge between working so close with candidates like Ralph Nader and doing a presidential debate, I've learned recently that our system is controlled by the elite. The elite that use the Commission on Presidential Debate that's run, it's controlled by, well, the two-party system that's controlled by the elite. The commission. We're going to be holding a United We Stand Festival at UCLA this October 12th. And we will be creating awareness towards candidates like David, candidates like Mike, Powellson, and we're going to be launching. The power of social media technology is so powerful. Like Top 2, didn't take much money to defeat that. And the system wants us to give up. Well, if we give up, then well, we're going to go beyond the Great Depression. We're going to go into the Dark Ages, and that's really what the elite want. That's terrifying. And one thing that we have that they've underestimated is the power of the people on the ground, as well as social media and technology, and the kids rising. And through the movement, what we're going to do, we're going to inspire through knowledgeable leaders connecting with. Of course, we're going to have debates. I mean, the debates were closed. I mean, it was so difficult back in 2010. Okay, I ran for statewide office to try to defeat Top 2. It was a good loss, as good as a loss could be. But we also hosted a gubernatorial debate where all the candidates for governor, Shalene Nightingale, Dale Ogden, and so on, participated. And I went to the debate where Laura Wells. I wanted to see her today, but she's not well, but she's here in spirit, Laura. And she's just sick, but I saw her get arrested right there, and as she was getting arrested, she handed me her ticket to sit in her seat to be at this debate, because nobody wanted it more than me. You know, I wanted her to be there first and foremost, so I sat in her seat. And I saw the system, you know, just so wrong. They've done it to Ralph Nader too, you know, and the threats for arrest. And so we want to open up the debates. We want to create those debates at the local level. Proportional representation, addressing voter fraud, the ballot box. I mean, I wish I guess people can see it, freeandequal.org. From the NSA to civil liberties, war on drugs, GMO, drone warfare, Federal Reserve, internet freedom, Second Amendment, climate change, military intervention, the patent system, marriage equality, deficit spending, healthcare, taxes. Why is it so hard to make any progress? Because the ballot box is, you know, it's flawed. It's no integrity. So I was on the way here and from home to swing by here. I was actually supposed to go to Las Vegas for Freedom Fest. I said, nope, I'm going to be here for David tonight. And you know, I just, you know, go.
This is a fire for you.
Yeah, no, it's just you follow through, you know, and I'm so thankful that David is running. And I've known Marty Glickman with greenchange.org, and she's so helpful back in 2010. And Richard Winger, you know, I talked to him. He's like, connect with Marty and David, and Richard's like just really that, you know, wonderful mentor. And so I spoke with Richard on the way here, and I just wanted to say that both Richard and myself personally endorse your race. It's the beginning. I look forward to getting to know you better, David, and working with you in Plainfield, because when the elections are free and equal, candidates like yourself will win. And we will shine a light on politics and candidates, and money will become, I know, a thing of the past. Parties are going to fade away, they will. I'm just going to say it. I've seen on the national levels, Libertarian and Green, that they become larger, they become infiltrated, but the state parties stay. We don't know, for the most part, integrity of the leaders. It's just there's a disconnect. seen it. And so the Constitution doesn't mention parties, and right now we have to rely on a party system because that's the way the system is set up. Ballot access barriers, it's just so many things. But in the meantime, I do foresee a lot of individual candidates running for the party lines in 14, but they're really going to have independent platforms of uniting across the spectrum, because the two-party system has been intentionally dividing us for centuries. And so that's the future, and people like David's going to take the knowledge from this campaign, hopefully get elected, but if not, run again, or educate or mentor, and be a part of those who can and will win